Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We start with the highlight of today's Parliament session. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, replying to the motion of thanks to the discussion on presidential address in the Lok Sabha, lashed out at the Gandhis and the Congress party, claiming those who carry out photo sessions in the huts of the poor will find talk about poor in the Parliament boring. He said that it's become a fashion for some people to talk about caste. He, in fact, asked a very relevant question. He asked, how many times have we seen 3 SC/ST MPs from the same family? Remember, this is also the first time all three Gandhis, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, are in the Parliament. In fact, it was just in the last session that we saw Priyanka Gandhi deliver her maiden Lok Sabha speech. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi went on to add that for the past 30 to 35 years, MPs from across parties were demanding constitutional status to the OBC Commission. And those who talk about it do not remember it then, but we gave constitutional status to the OBC Commission. That's what Prime Minister Modi said. In fact, he was replying to the motion of thanks to the presidential address in the Lok Sabha. He added that his government has given Muslim women their rights by ending triple talaq. Those who talk with constitution in their pockets do not know that they had compelled Muslim women to live a life full of trouble. That's what he said. Even as he added that President of India, Draupadi Murmu, too, is being insulted repeatedly by the Congress party. Now, remember, the Prime Minister's speech comes a day after Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition and Congress MP, took on the ruling party for not steering India well through the mobility and tech revolution and losing not just land but opportunities to China. He made those claims, but two ministers, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister of India, have refuted his claims, calling them irresponsible. It was day 4 of the budget session. The opposition held protests and raised slogans in the Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha. In fact, they have also alleged mismanagement of the Mahakumbh Mela that caused people to lose their lives during a stampede on the 29th of January. Let's first take a look at how the Prime Minister covered a lot of ground there and what were the main takeaways from his speech today.
कोई मुझे बताएं, क्या एक ही समय में संसद में एससी वर्ग के एक ही परिवार के 3 सांसद कभी हुए हैं क्या? एससी वर्ग के एक ही परिवार के 3 सांसद कभी भी हुए क्या? मैं दूसरा सवाल पूछता हूं, कोई मुझे बताए कि एक ही कालखंड में, एक ही समय में संसद में एसटी वर्ग के एक ही परिवार के 3 एमपी हुए हैं क्या? आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, कुछ लोगों की वाणी और व्यवहार में कितना फर्क होता है, मेरे एक सवाल के जवाब में मिला। जो लोग गरीबों की झोंपड़ियों में फोटो सेशन कराकर अपना मनोरंजन करते रहते हैं, उन्हें संसद में गरीबों की बात बोरिंग ही लगेगी। आदरणीय सभापति जी, मैं उनका गुस्सा समझ सकता हूं।
No, I was a bit surprised by the Prime Minister's speech because it was a typical election speech with the Delhi elections tomorrow. Just a long laundry list again of things that the government has done. What is surprising is that we all know very well that the opposition had raised a number of very specific criticisms of the President's address. And those criticisms were not answered by the Prime Minister. Instead, there were a few political statements which, frankly, I think the nation could have done without.
My colleague Aishwarya has been tracking Parliament for us, joins us now. Aishwarya, tell us, Lok Sabha has finally been adjourned. Tell us what are the big takeaways from the Prime Minister's speech today and how are the opposition parties reacting to this?
Well, it's an all-out attack by the Prime Minister as far as his speech is concerned against the Congress party and the Aam Aadmi party. it was Prime Minister who clearly reflected on how the one single party was busy in building Sheesh Mahal, while the government of Bharatiya Janata Party in the central had been busy in building the entire country, entire nation. It was also an attack on the Congress party former President Sonia Gandhi on insulting President Draupadi Murmu, and questioned that how can anyone insult a tribal lady who had the highest position, constitutional position, and is the president of the country. In fact, Prime Minister also had stated that how there were, without any political gains, at least 10,000 10,000 people from each district were cut down, and those beneficiaries were given. The fake beneficiaries were cut down without any political gains, and the benefit of that had been provided to the real beneficiaries as per the central government. The Prime Minister also had been attacking the Congress party and asking about a relevant question, certainly, that whether at any point of time there were 3 SC/ST members from one family who were the part of the parliament is the bigger question. That answer gives a lot of messaging as well. So clearly, Prime Minister in first part clearly had attacked the Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress party in the opposition, but also had emphasized on what the government has been doing for the last 10 years as far as the beneficiary schemes, how the Ladli Yojana Behna had come into the place, and how the women in each and every village are getting benefit out of it, and how the entire country is going with a mission to achieve Viksit Bharat by 2047, when India will complete 100 years. He also clearly stated that at the time of UPA era, those people who are earning 2 lakh rupees can only have a tax-free slab, but now anybody who earns till 12 lakh rupees are under the no tax zone, and no tax slab is something that is one of the achievements of this government as well. A long speech, but the opposition has reacted very sharply. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav just came out of the Parliament complex after hearing Prime Minister and stated that this is a very sad moment when Prime Minister didn't speak for even once about the Kumbh stampede that happened, and he did not express his condolences to those people who lost his life.
Okay.
The Congress party had been stating that this is a repeated kind of the statements and the remarks that Prime Minister has given. Nothing new is something that Congress party found out from the Prime Minister's long speech. But it was, of course, Prime Minister's reply to the entire presidential address, the motion of thanks, and finally the Lok Sabha has adjourned for the day.
Okay, before I bring in my guest, let's also listen to what Akhilesh Yadav, Samajwadi Party chief, said today after listening to the Prime Minister's speech.
बहुत अफसोस की बात है कि जब कुंभ में इतनी बड़ी घटना घट गई, केवल विपक्ष का सवाल नहीं है, पूरे देश और दुनिया ने देखा कि कुंभ में क्या घटना घटी है। सरकार पहले तो आंकड़े छिपा रही थी, खोए कितने लोग हैं उसके आंकड़े छिपा रहे हैं, कितने लोगों की जान गई है उसके आंकड़े नहीं आ रहे अभी तक। और फिर आज इससे बड़े दुख की क्या बात हो सकती है कि कोई भी शोक, और जो मैंने शुरू में अपने भाषण में कहा कि कम से कम 2 मिनट का मौन रख लिया जाए, लेकिन आज तो किसी को परवाह भी नहीं है।
Lok Sabha MP from Wayanad from the Congress party, Priyanka Gandhi, has also reacted to the Prime Minister's speech. Let's listen in to what she said.
ज़रूरतें हैं उनसे आराम ये लग रहा था उनके भाषण से।
Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, spokesperson of the Congress party. I have Shazia Ilmi, spokesperson of the Congress party. I have A. Sarvanan from the DMK, and I have Aarti Jairath, who is a political analyst and an author, joining us. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. To you, Bhavya, first, the Prime Minister saying that there's hardly any family with 3 SC/ST members is a direct dig at dynasty politics, and it is quite intriguing that there are 3 members, 3 MPs from one family. Is that one thing that is going to, in some ways always come up in the BJP leaders' speeches, and is it something that will always hurt the Congress party even in the times to come?
I think they're only exposing their own hypocrisy. How many dynastic politicians are there in their party, in his own cabinet? If I start mentioning, I don't think the time will be enough. But I want to come to the main point here. This was his response to the motion of thanks. If he was a proper leader who is concerned about the country, instead of acting like opposition and opposing the opposition, talking about opposition parties, he should be addressing the real issues of the country. He should have responded to the LOP's speech yesterday. Rahul Gandhi raised very important points on unemployment, on the failure of Make in India, on so many issues. He raised points about dependency on Chinese goods, the imports that are increasing. Nothing. He doesn't want to respond on any of this. At least he could have shown some concern about the stampede and all the lost lives in Kumbh Mela. Did that happen? No. This was totally an election speech for tomorrow's Delhi's election. Like, he should have gone to Delhi campaign instead of going to Parliament today instead. In Parliament, people of India expect a Prime Minister, a responsible Prime Minister, to speak about the issues that concerns them, not act like an opposition leader, behave like a Prime Minister of India.
Okay.
This is the third time you have got elected.
Okay, let me get in the BJP spokesperson.
He should show some maturity and talk about the real issues.
Okay. Shazia, how do you look at the opposition's reaction to this, counter to this, saying that the Prime Minister should have spoken on the Mahakumbh stampede, or for that matter, the kind of issues that Rahul Gandhi raised, instead of giving a laundry list of achievements? What do you think? Did he miss out, although he has covered a lot of ground here? Do you think there's something more that the Prime Minister could have spoken about?
I think the Prime Minister, on a very solemn and a somber note, has expressed the deep hurt at what has happened, at the tragedy that happened at Kumbh. So, and he has said it not once but a few times. And I think the Congress spokesperson shows her lack of sagacity or seriousness when she says nation's issues were not discussed. When Prime Minister talks about 25 crore Indians, the poorest of the poor, being pulled out of poverty, I think Congress spokesperson here, just like a leader, feels that poverty is really not an issue, because obviously they live in some la-la land of theirs. When Prime Minister talks about 12 crore toilets for women, for their dignity and sanitation and hygiene and health, clearly it's a non-issue for the Congress party and their allies. When you talk about, 16 crore of Indians did not have access to clean water. Now there are 12 crore households who have clean water. And 75 years since the independence, 16 crore Indians were denied potable drinking water. So clearly drinking water is not an issue or a non-issue for Congress party. When you talk about lakhs of people and crores of people getting cheap, affordable housing, clearly that is not an issue for Congress party. Now, and shouldn't Prime Minister talk about Congress frenemy, friend and enemy, both Aam Aadmi Party and the use of state funds, public exchequer during COVID on making of Sheesh Mahal and making those showers and jacuzzis. Surely, in the when you talk about transparency and the lack of opacity, it's important to talk about. And when you talk about 1,25 crores being saved only because of digital payments and direct payments, is that not a people's issue? As for Rahul Gandhi and all his absolutely immature comments on India and China and their relations, I think Rahul Gandhi should apologize for what Congress party stand has been.
Okay. Saravanan, let me also...
Can I please respond?
Lack of knowledge about what's happened.
Okay, Bhavya, I'll come. Okay, Bhavya, respond quickly because I also have 2 other guests waiting here.
I know. The BJP spokesperson, she's only again talking just like Prime Minister.
And it's sad when the spokespersons have to put up...
When a leader of opposition...
Okay, Shazia, let Bhavya respond. I'll come back to you.
Having to justify what this clown prince
She's
has
not
to
letting
say.
me speak. Can I just speak over her?
Okay, Bhavya, please
Yeah.
respond.
So,
Yeah.
we just want answers to what happened to the 2 crore jobs a year. Why doesn't the Prime Minister address that? Why is unemployment standing at 45% today?
To what I'm saying?
And why
you
is
know what people's
education?
issues are?
Why
I
is
think the
the
budget
total
and
expenditure
talked
given
about
to education
what
reduced?
Okay, let me also get in a
Why
comment
hasn't
from
reduced?
Saravanan. Saravanan, you know, there was one point that I think the Prime Minister made, in which he said that...
Yes.
Slow and hard on
In
comprehension.
which he said that, you know, there were 387 medical colleges in India
You're just speaking over everyone
before
else.
2014,
Please
but
respond
now
when it's
there
your
are
time.
780 medical colleges. In fact, he says that, you know, he goes on to say that it was his government that increased SC seats in medical colleges, you know, from 7,700 to 17,000 now, and also for OBCs. In some ways, he's trying to make this divide very clear that he's implementing social justice while the opposition is just talking about it. Is the fact that the UP has not been in power at the center for last 10 years, is that also a handicap? Because you have, you know, you have no model to show the country that you are also, you know, completely in interest of implementing the social justice policies that you talk about.
Yeah. See, we want the BJP to run this government. Instead, what they're doing is they're running a slogan management company. Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised very pertinent issues. He was talking about AI, he was talking about the job opportunities, he was talking about made in India, and the Prime Minister is saying AA. How many slogans? 10 years, can we have the count of slogans we have
It was
heard
quite laughable.
from the Prime
Okay,
Minister?
Shazia, I'll come back
How
to
many
it. Saravanan,
slogans?
finish, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm coming to whatever you're saying.
Himself
See,
has always been talking
when
about AI.
the BJP is a party,
AI is
is a
used
party.
to study and understand later.
Okay,
but
Shazia,
not
I'll come back to you.
Madam, we understand everything. Stop heckling me.
It showed Rahul Gandhi did understand.
I know you are rattled.
It's very obvious how much he understood
AI.
AI.
Listen.
No, listen. No, you listen. You listen.
Why should I listen?
Please ask Rahul
to
Gandhi.
you when you were talking.
Let him respond. I'll come back to you.
Listening when
And
you were
be so
talking.
laughable.
Listen to me.
Make a
Listen to
laughing
me.
stock
Listen
of
to the
himself.
voices. Then come to a conclusion.
Using AI
Stop heckling.
to
Stop heckling.
figure out
Stop
caste
heckling.
census, my dear friend.
Yeah, those days are over. Those days of majority
Shazia, let him
vote only your
respond.
party side is over.
I'm the only
You are
one.
at 240
As I
at
can
the
see
mercy
that
of
three
Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar.
panel,
So
so I
you
should
can't
get equal
raise your
time.
voice over and
Yeah,
over.
absolutely.
Those
I'll come
days
back
are
to you. Let
over.
him respond. Let him respond. I'll come back to you.
Please allow me to explain. See, the BJP is a party which is against the interest of the OBCs and the SCs. For instance,
Yes,
you are
and how
talking
do you
about
explain?
medical
How do you
colleges.
explain your complete
Medical
lack of
colleges.
come back to
I'll
Shazia.
come
Let him
to it.
finish.
I'll come to it.
I mean, if it's a speech you want to give
when-
without
when
any
it-
facts,
there
then there's
was-
no point. No, if you want to give a speech, be my guest. Do you have
Okay,
any
let
facts?
him finish. I'll
Do you
come
have
back
any
to you.
facts? No, but you know,
Stop.
if you're supposed to express your
I know you're
frustration,
rattled.
that's one
Let
thing.
me finish. Have my criticism. Then, if you have the courage, answer that.
It's already answered.
So,
If you listen to the Prime Minister's speech, he would
you
make
are
it
talking.
out
You
to be
raised a very
how
pertinent
follow you
issue.
are.
Okay, I have to go to Aarti now. This is...
Issue is this. No. Allow me to speak. You have not
We
given
have
me
an
any
OBC
chance.
commission
Not
for
fair.
real now.
Yeah.
You're just repeating the Congress spokesperson's
you are talking
words.
about reservations.
She's not letting anyone talk.
Okay,
I think you should either mute her.
why don't you tell us how did you find the Prime Minister's speech today in comparison to what Rahul Gandhi said yesterday? Because I did feel that he was talking about getting basics right. He says that, you know, it took, I mean, all this work that I've been doing is something that should have done 40 years ago. So clearly, you know, making it about getting basics right before talking about those lofty ideals of, you know, getting China, overtaking China, which is something that Rahul Gandhi did speak about yesterday.
Well, you know, Vasudha, it's very difficult to escape the impression that this was a speech designed for the Delhi elections. You know, I mean, in the years that I have covered Parliament, the debate on the motion of thanks usually extends over 3 to 4 days. I think it's basically they assign about 12 to 16 hours for the debate, and it takes about 3 to 4 days to complete it. But yesterday we saw Parliament, the Lok Sabha, actually sitting up till 11 p.m. so that they could complete this debate in 2 days. I mean, it's very difficult not to join the dots and feel that it was designed so that the PM could speak, address Delhi voters while addressing the nation, you know, on the eve of the Delhi elections, because somehow the Delhi elections seem to have become a do or die for the BJP as much as for Aam Aadmi Party. I mean, to rake up Sheesh Mahal, Aapda, you know, and so on, very clear where his mind was. As far as his not answering Rahul Gandhi's allegations, or the points that Rahul Gandhi made, I think what the PM was trying to do, as part of his appeal to Delhi voters, is to prove that what the BJP says, it actually implements. And that is why this long list of achievements over the last 10 years. I think this was the idea. And when he raises 3 SC/ST members of parliament from the same family, why SC/ST? That's because he's appealing to the SC/ST voters in Delhi who have traditionally voted for Aam Aadmi Party. I mean, it's very difficult, Vasudha, not to join the dots and come to this conclusion. So, I'm afraid this whole debate on the president's address, whether it was the LOP speech or the Prime Minister's reply, it's been a bit of a damp squib. And sadly, I agree with that.
10 seconds, Shazia, please respond. Completely out of time, so please respond.
As I predicted. And though I have a lot of respect for her, but, RPG has just, repeated what the other spokespersons have said. So there's nothing new there. It's me you must come to, because there are 3 spokespersons on one side, or 3 anti-Modi whatever people, and pro-Congress people, and one spokesperson. No, I will say what I say. I will say exactly what I say, because I am not a spokesperson. No, I will say exactly what I say as I feel it, and I will say again and again. So after the 3 Congress spokespersons, I think we should give equal time to BJP also, because after all, you're discussing PM speech. I'm very happy that somebody noticed. Now somebody noticed. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. I'm not interested.
Can I please respond?
I want to talk about the points you've made, which are the same points that you made for the 2 Congress.
We're completely out of time now. Thank you so much. Aarti, you wanted to quickly say something. Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about 3 Congress spokespersons and 1 BJP spokesperson.
Aarti is a senior journalist here, Shazia.
Just answer the questions that we have asked.
I will say, I've heard, let me answer.
I'm sorry.
If it was only about...
I don't like to do this on NDTV.
Don't be a sorry channel.
We can't hear anybody out now. Yes, thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this broadcast. The Prime Minister took on the opposition today in his response to the motion of thanks on the presidential address. He spoke on India opening up the nuclear sector, how it's approaching AI and deep tech, and promises that his party makes, how it fulfills them. But his attack was also on the Congress and Gandhis for what he claims betrayal of people. Remember, this comes a day after Rahul Gandhi also spoke about how the ruling government's policies are not adequate to for the functioning of this country and also for the youth of this country. With that, it's time for a short break. More news on the other side.